Hello guys, what is up? My name is Dylan. Welcome to the Popcorn Podcast. This is episode 41. I am joined by a brand new guest, Hannah.
Hi.
The amazing, talented Hannah TOWNSEND. Thank you so much for joining me to talk all things Paddington in Peru.
Oh, thank you for having me. I feel incredibly privileged to be on.
No, the privilege is all ours. We actually this is the first time the pair of us have actually met in the flesh, but we sort of do have kind of an inside connection. That's how this is sort of, do you want to kind of
come together?
Yeah, do you want to tell the folks how this
came to be?
Yeah.
So you know my dad, you work with my dad.
Yes, I
randomly.
Yeah.
And then my dad was saying he works with someone who has this kind of podcast that talks about movies. And then I checked out your page and I saw the tennis sounds.
Oh.
And I was amazed.
Yeah.
And started following you from there. And now I'm here. Look at me now.
Yeah. So for me, I remember your dad, I remember him emailing me and saying, oh, Dylan, by the way, I showed my daughter your podcast. And, she was like super nice about it, etc. And then I remember you guys started following me on, I think it was TikTok. And at that point, I just didn't put two and two together. For some reason, I didn't put two and two together. And then I kind of did a little more digging. I was like, oh my God, I've seen you on Pulp Kitchen podcast.
Yeah.
And I have seen you around. So yes, small world.
It's tiny world.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the podcast. It's such a pleasure to be talking with you finally.
Yeah.
Because I know this has been in the works for a little bit. But what I do like to do with all my sort of new guests is to just kind of get a general idea of some of your favorite films and kind of just your general film taste. It's a little bit of fun. So I'm going to throw you some quick-fire questions. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
So straight up, Hannah, first up, what is your favorite film of all time?
Parasite. Parasite.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Okay,
it's my favorite film. I loved it when I first saw it. I love it now.
Yes.
I think it's beautifully shot. I think the story is so engaging. It really sticks with me. I love Parasite.
Parasite is a great one. What's a comfort film of yours?
Carol. Do you know Carol?
Yeah, Rooney Mara.
Yeah.
And Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett, one of my all-time favorites.
Great film. What is a guilty pleasure film of yours?
A guilty pleasure film of mine is Saltburn.
Saltburn. Okay. And what is a film you think is underrated?
Big Fish. Tim Burton. Do you know?
Yeah. What's a film you think is overrated?
Tenet. I feel like even the people in it didn't know what was going on. And neither did I.
What is your favourite film score?
The Harry Potter film score. It's probably been said before. I think I was one of the first people ever to hear that. They played it. I was like 8.
What?
I know. I was at Proms in the Park. I was about 8 years old. It was something like that. And they were like, Harry Potter's coming out. They had a full orchestra there. They were like, we're going to play the score. And my dad wanted to leave because classic like parents, he was like, we want to beat the cues. And so we were walking away.
That's
and
a
really
good impression.
Yeah, isn't it? And I was like, I feel like it's a moment in history.
That is insane. And can I ask, was John Williams there? Was he? It doesn't matter.
Here's the thing. I was about 8. I would have thought he was.
Yeah.
I would have thought he was there. I can't remember. It was
confirm.
a big concert thing, and they were like, it's a snippet, a sneak preview of the film that's coming out. Here's the score. And we were walking away because my dad wanted to beat the cues.
Oh my God.
Classic parents.
Oh my God.
And now I'm old. I'm like, let's leave and beat the cues. We don't want to be on the tube when everyone else is.
Oh my gosh. I'm never going to let him live this down, honestly. When I see horror or comedy?
I feel like we're in a real stinker age of comedy at the moment. Like there's just no good comedy, and we're in a real golden age of horror.
Yep.
So horror.
Yep. Sci-fi or fantasy?
I'm not a sci-fi girly.
Okay.
So fantasy.
Blockbuster or indie?
I really want to say indie to be cool, but I'd probably watch more blockbusters.
Yeah.
So let's go with that.
Sure. What's a film you wish you watched in the cinema?
The Zone of Interest.
Oh, okay. That is a good one.
Yeah. I think it's best. It's all about the sound and the visual medium. I think it's better in the cinema.
Yeah, it's horrifying that.
Yeah.
If you were stuck on a desert island, what 4 films would you take with you?
Angus Songs and Perfect Snogging to make me laugh. The Quiet Girl to make me cry.
Okay, I still haven't seen it, but
have to.
Yeah,
have to.
Is it French? Is it French?
I thought you were going to say, is it franchise? Or
no. The Quiet Girl franchise. No.
Yes. No.
Is it a French film?
They're speaking in Irish.
I'm getting mixed up with I think one of Celine Sciamma's. Sorry, yeah,
Watch The Quiet Girl.
Yes, I will do.
I'll send it to you.
I will do.
Moulin Rouge, because I love musical, and Gone Girl, so I could recite the Cool Girl monologue.
Oh yeah, of course. Rosamund Pike.
Of course.
Fantastic. What is your favorite film of this year, 2024, so far?
I think technically in the UK this did come out in this year. Poor Things.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. I mean, I loved Poor Things. I remember because I saw it early last year at London Film Festival.
Oh, no.
So I just about caught it for the last year's sort of best films of. But yeah, I think it's
Stunning.
fantastic.
Yeah.
What is the worst film you've seen in 2024 so far?
Do you know what? Quite recently I saw Ricky Stenicki. Terrible comedy film.
No.
It's got Zac Efron in it.
Oh, okay.
Just way too long. The jokes are predictable. Lost its way.
Ricky Stenicki.
Ricky Stenicki.
Ricky Stenicki and The Quiet Girl. That would be a great double back-to-back feature. And finally, Hannah, what is your most anticipated film for the rest of the year? I think I know the answer, but I'm going to let you say it.
The Wickedly Talented. It's got to be Wicked. I'm so excited. I've booked to see it in IMAX.
Nice.
Obviously, the day it comes out.
Yeah.
I am so excited. I just know it's going to be fantastic.
I haven't seen the musical.
What?
I haven't seen it yet. And I'm not sure. I need your advice. I'm not sure whether to book that in before the film or after the film.
You got to get going.
Yeah, I know. It's in a couple of weeks.
I think, because because I know the story and I still am so excited. Yeah.
I was going to say, you said Wicked, and I'm looking at the kind of lighting on you, and you've got. There you go. It's just meant to be. Well, guys, that was a little quick fire round with Hannah. I think I know I've got a little bit of an idea of just kind of a bit of your film taste, which is great. But of course, by the title of this episode, you guys will know we are going to be talking about the latest Paddington film, Paddington in Peru, or Paddington 3. So Hannah, first thing I kind of want to ask you is, what was your kind of first experience with Paddington? When did you first come across the bear? Which, by the way, guys, I don't know if you can tell,
we're both in bear.
We're both in bear attire. Yes. It wasn't planned. The brief did say bear, but we have somewhat
we've nailed
the same bear.
Bear.
Yeah.
When did I first come across Paddington? Well, from it's almost saying when did you first kind of think about breathing? Like it was my whole life of grown up knowing Paddington, right? And then obviously the feature live action film started coming out. Was it 2010? Was that right? I don't know. A while back.
You got me out of an awkward point when I just had coffee. Sorry. So did I go for it?
It was a good couple of years. It was a while back, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been very familiar with old Paddington for most of my life. How about you? I
did read a couple of the books when I was a kid, and I did know of Paddington, but people are going to come for me with this. This is my sort of film secret. I didn't watch Paddington 1 and 2 until last weekend.
What?
So I have literally watched all 3 Paddington films in the space of this past week alone. So I have had the Paddington ride of a lifetime in the past 7 days. It was on my list, obviously, for just ages and ages and ages. And I was kind of sort of just saving it for basically a rainy day.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I was just hearing all the buzz, particularly about the second film, the sequel. But I thought the films are just so delightful and so terrific, and I did really enjoy them. And the pair of us, we saw the third film. I think the official release date was yesterday, right?
Yes.
And Friday. I managed to catch it on Friday. You managed to catch it on Thursday, Friday. Before we go into Paddington and Peru, what are your thoughts on those first 2 films?
Oh, stunning. Yeah. Absolutely stunning. They're so magic. It's not necessarily a genre of, I guess, film I'm particularly drawn to. That kind of live animation-y, kind of kids. It can be classed as a kids film, right? Yeah. It's not. I don't tend to lean into that, but I just think they are the best that these films could be. Yeah. I truly think that.
I don't think those films have any right being that good.
No.
It's just
the attention to detail
brilliant.
Is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even I'm not even embarrassed to say it, but when I did watch the second film last week, there was one point where I was tearing up a little bit.
Oh,
yeah. The one scene in Paddington 2 was literally the scene when he's in his prison cell and he's crying because he thinks his family's abandoned him. And to see a character that is so all the time full of hope and so just so positive, just to see that, I don't know, that really got me. But would it be safe to say that you were excited for Paddington in Peru?
Do you know what? I actually think that because I'm not the target audience for the film,
Sure.
I think the advertising kind of skipped me. So I would say I've only been really hearing about Paddington in Peru the last week. I've been seeing it on like buses and, it kind of everywhere. But I think in the lead up, in the way that like the lead up to the Wicked film has been so intense.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've had that hype for it in quite the same way, but maybe they didn't need to sell it. They just know people will see it. I don't know what it is, but I haven't quite felt that.
Yeah, I would sort of agree with that, but for different reasons. I've like intentionally, obviously, tried to stay away from it just because. Paddington in Peru. I was like, I'm thinking like, why is he in Peru? And then I started watching the first one. I'm like, oh, of course he's from Peru. So every time I've been seeing a film in the past sort of month, 2 months, I've just kind of been doing that at the trailer when it comes up. But let's break down Paddington in Peru then. Shall we just also just really cool quick Wicked story for you.
Tell me.
What was it? This was last year. So Ariana Grande was filming Wicked here in London, and it was actually after one of these shoots, one of the podcast shoots that we were parked outside Joe, who used to work on the podcast, his house, and I was in the front. I was in the passenger seat of my car for some reason, but I was in the passenger seat, and out of nowhere, Ariana Grande is just walking past. This is in Hampstead, but just literally just walking past, and I'm like, do my eyes deceive me? Like genuinely,
yeah.
She went into a pub and just. And
did she have an entourage?
No, she did not.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like it was one of those like you're on your phone and you do the double take kind of thing.
Was she with SpongeBob?
SpongeBob?
Ethan, her boyfriend?
I don't know. I think
he played SpongeBob in like the live action or something. So everyone just calls him SpongeBob. Poor guy.
I don't know. I think she was seeing a friend. She looked like she was with a friend, but that was just somewhat just surreal and just kind of.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Because she would be kind of nuts to see in real life.
Yeah, you really had to look as well, because obviously now I think people have got used to seeing her blonde.
Yeah.
But back then, so this was last year. I was like, oh my god, it is Ariana Grande. Holy shit. But yeah, that's so cool. Quick random tangent.
Random Wicked fact.
Yeah. So Paddington in Peru. Yeah, I'm gonna do like a quick plot synopsis if that's just to sort of just go straight into the discussion. So Paddington travels to Peru to visit his beloved Aunt Lucy, who now resides at the home for retired bears. With the Brown family in tow, a thrilling adventure ensues when a mystery plunges them into an unexpected journey through the Amazon rainforest and up to the mountain peaks of Peru. We are going to be talking spoilers for the film, so if you haven't seen Paddington and in Peru, guys, do go check the film out and come back to this discussion at a later time. So, verdict on Paddington Peru, just straight up thoughts. How do you feel about it?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
How about you?
I really enjoyed it as well. I think it's. You know what? I would say this film it's quite in a tricky place coming off the back of Paddington 2, when it's that film was just insanely good. I feel like this film, in a lot of ways it does feel like Paddington, but also it is a bit of a different formula, because you take him out of London, you bring him back to Peru, and having him in a sort of different environment. It was a little different. But I did really enjoy it. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, I think that, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think that's smart to do that, because Paddington 2 is beloved. I mean, it's what was like the best rated film ever. It's like on a pedestal. So I think the only option was to take him out of London so that you could compare it less to Paddington 2.
Yes.
Of course, people are still gonna compare it to Paddington 2. I saw this tweet that was like, Paddington 3 has the worst rating of any Paddington film at 95%.
Yeah. So
it's a bit of a flex. Like, it's still really good. I think people will probably go into this film with a negative, I don't know, I can't speak for people, but with a view of like, the only way was down in Paddington 2, right?
Yeah.
But I still really enjoyed it, and I think it was good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I think for me, I mean, I don't think it's quite as good as Paddington 2, but it's different from Paddington 2, but different isn't bad. Yeah. Like it's a bit of a different flavor. What do you feel like for Paddington in Peru? What do you think is the best thing about this film? If you had to put it down to one thing that this film does really, really well, what would you say?
I know we're going to talk about cast, or
sure.
let's probably come on to cast.
Yes, go. Let's talk about the cast then.
But no, well, I was going to say,
okay,
if we're going to come on to cast, because I think the cast is great.
Yeah.
aside from cast, something I love about Paddington, and I think this film still does really well, is the comedy.
Yeah.
I've seen notes that it's not as funny or there's not as comedy beat for beat as other films, but I think there's a real treasure that this film does where in a lot of comedies that you watch these days that it's really obvious what the joke's going to be, right? The lead up is there, you're just waiting for the person to say the punchline, and it's kind of slow. What I love with Paddington in particular of the comedy is that like I never see it coming, they've got the emergency supplies, they open it, it's the cocktail.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Fantastic.
That was brilliant.
And they assume an intelligence of the audience where they don't open that. And she's not like a cocktail kit. It's not like clumsy like that. And I really like that.
No, I completely agree. I feel like a lot of modern audiences have almost become accustomed to, like you said, like the punchline or the kind of, just
spelled out for us.
Yeah. Just being spoon-fed a lot of the jokes and stuff. But this is really kind of whimsical, witty, sharp. It still sustains that similar style that the first two brought, but in a completely different environment this time around, of course. But like you mentioned, let's go on to the cast then.
Is that your favourite part?
I mean, the cast, I think, these films, they always knock it out of the park with the cast. Who in your opinion, so let's say out of the new cast, who's your favourite?
Well, I think it was very tough because Hugh Grant is beloved again. Yeah. But if anyone's going to follow Hugh Grant, it's going to be Olivia Coleman. I adore Olivia Coleman.
These films keep striking gold with the whole nun situation going on.
Yes.
Right? So
there's a real theme in the kind of bad nun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bad
what are these films trying to tell us about?
I don't know.
Nuns?
I don't know. There's something there. Olivia Coleman is glorious as ever. She just adds so much to a film, doesn't she? I was a little bit, when the singing number, apparently she got the script and immediately started learning guitar.
Yeah.
I was a little bit
that was her playing guitar as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was unsure when the musical number started. I know they did it in 2.
Yeah.
But actually, I loved the Sound of Music gag. I loved it all.
Yeah. I think, for that specific musical number, I sort of was feeling, like when I was watching it, I was feeling like, okay, this is good, but I feel like it was a bit generic. And then she did the sort of last note at the end. I was like, okay, fine, this is pretty good. I think she was terrific. I know this is kind of gets, and I don't want to be that guy, but I did see the twist coming.
Yes.
Like you did.
My husband turned to me the second she came on and went, I bet she's I was like, and then I could see the way she played it was very smart.
Yeah.
It was there from the start.
Yeah.
It was embedded.
Yeah. I feel like though, if I was a lot younger, if I was a little kid and I did see that, I mean, I it still has that effect of, it potentially surprise kids though at the same time. But no, I think she was brilliant. And I think, I would say like one of the obviously the best things about these films is the the British cast, like bringing on these like cornerstones of British cinema, and of course Olivia Coleman was naturally sort of the right place to go, the right direction to go in. What did you think of Antonio Banderas?
To play that many roles, Spy Kids, right? He was the dad in Spy Kids.
Yep.
Fantastic. Yeah, really fantastic. Like the physical comedy, I really have.
He was for me. It was like almost like he was sort of chucked into a Paddington film. At some points, I almost felt like he didn't belong there, but not in a bad way. Like he just threw so many sort of just random kind of like it was a different form of humor that I just wasn't expecting to see.
Yeah.
The thing that got the funny this shows my maturity, but the thing that got me the funniest laugh in the entire thing is when he gets hit in the nuts with the book in slow motion. Yeah.
And Paddington's going back.
I really enjoyed his sort of little character sort of arc, his little storyline. That was really sweet, and him and his daughter, and like the gold I have has always been right in front of me. I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah.
And I think all in all, it's just it's another great addition to these films. One thing I would say that I was a bit sort of apprehensive about was the fact that Paul King wasn't returning to direct this one.
Yeah.
What I will say is I feel like so it's Douglas Wilson. Yeah. I think he did a good job. I don't feel like he quite brought the same level of kind of kineticness or the same level of filmmaking as I think Paul King did with those first two films. I think those first two films were just pitch perfect from a directorial perspective. But I don't know, how did you feel like the film flow? Did you feel like it was quintessentially Paddington? Did you feel like there was a kind of a little bit of a disconnect? How did you feel about that? Did you know that Paul King was?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
so I knew it was. I knew there was a different director. I still think it had certain special beats that Paddington does have, but I could see that it was slightly. It was same but different.
Yeah, same but different.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still but then I'm like, is that because it was somewhere else? I can. Yeah.
I think he did a good job. Like, I think he's.
I think so.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was a tough one to take.
Yeah. Definitely. Another new addition to this cast was Emily Mortimer.
She's the mum.
She's the mum.
Yeah.
Who stepped in and has somewhat replaced Sally Hawkins.
Do you think that was money?
I don't know.
Why didn't she come back?
I have no idea.
I'm guessing money.
Do you think so?
I don't know. Why wouldn't you come back?
Maybe another project. I'm not sure, but I'm
Maybe
trying to
not.
figure out, like, because Sally Hawkins, I do see her here and there, but I don't see her in everything. Like, she's not. So yeah, maybe. Who knows? Sally, if you're watching, can you get us? Can you let us know?
Where are you?
Yeah. But what did you think of her? Did you feel like, there was a huge difference between the way those two sort of played Mrs. Brown? Did you feel like she was kind of bringing more or less the same?
I think she brought something really lovely to this, actually. I think she almost has like an animated face, like a Disney princess or something, with the big eyes and the family story. And I thought she played it really well. I think she fit in really well. It didn't feel like she wasn't part of this group.
Yes.
Obviously, when they did the flashback of Paddington at the station and they just like weirdly showed.
Yeah, they just didn't show. They just showed her back, and I was like, "That's Sally Hawkins."
That's a different mum.
Yeah.
But yeah, how about you? What do you think?
I thought, so here's my kind of verdict on that whole situation. I feel like I really like Sally Hawkins. I really, really do. I think she's like terrific. I love her in sort of basically everything she does, The Shape of Water, and all these great films. She's a great actress, and I do feel like she is a big part of those first two films. And I think it was a tough act for Emily Mortimer to just come in and sort of do her thing and kind of follow up after that. What I will say is, although I do fundamentally or ultimately prefer Sally Hawkins in that role, I do feel like Emily Mortimer looks better with Hugh Bonneville than Sally Hawkins. I buy that relationship a bit more. So I feel like on the one hand, while Sally Hawkins might sort of bring more for me with that relationship with Paddington, I think Emily Mortimer brings more in kind of the family dynamic there. Yeah, I thought she did a really good job though. I think
again, tough to come into what is a unit already.
Yeah.
And it not feel like she was the odd one out. But when I was watching it, I didn't feel that.
How did you feel about the film's ending? Do you feel like Paddington? Were you expecting him to sort of be like, "Psych, I want to stay with you guys," or do you feel like he was sort of gonna go off with his tribe, as they say?
They're my tribe, but you're my family.
Yeah.
Tears. I mean, I wanted him to go back to London. I think it's hard because it's one of those where you're watching where you're like, what's the right one? Like, I guess you just essentially want the little bear character to be happy wherever he is. It's that weird, his upbringing versus his new life. I don't know. I wanted him to go home, I guess.
As in home, as in London. I think we all did deep down. I feel like if you just left him in Peru, you would have had so many unhappy kids outside the cinemas. They would have been distraught. I thought for a second, because they were doing the whole flashback to the first one. I was like, oh my god, is this it? Is this it? All in all though, I mean, I think I think it was a solid film. And where would you rank these in comparison? This one in comparison to the other two? Would you say? I mean, they're all good.
Yeah, they're all good. It's for me, I guess there were a few things that I didn't think worked in this film.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about those then.
Yeah, which I guess would like cloud my judgment. I think the kids.
Yeah.
They just didn't know what to do with them. I almost think, why bother bringing them to Peru, honestly? Like, they're not fully fleshed out characters.
No.
The daughter, why she had all those maps around her room and then she turned out to be a journalist?
Yes.
I didn't get it. I was like, is she studying geography? And if then you could have had her as she was leading them to find him, and there could have been something more there, because there were all those maps. I know she was like planning of where to go to university, but I just felt the kids, I mean, were so unrealistic as characters and so underdeveloped.
Yeah.
And they're needed for the whole point of the movie is family, right? Yeah. And I just have no connection with them.
Yeah.
And also, why were there no scenes with the kids and Paddington?
Yeah.
There's no sibling relationship there. I almost think, I wonder if a lot of that got cut. Well,
it's interesting.
that for me fell really flat.
Yeah, I do. I will say, like, I just don't think the family scenes. You know, when Paddington is with Antonio Banderas and the family are by themselves, I don't think those scenes hold up quite as well as, say, they would have done in the first two films. I think there was, like you said, like a huge element missing.
Yeah.
The kids, I feel like they're a bit stale and just kind of just there, for kind of the sake of having, all of these, all of the family members just there.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like they necessarily brought that much. I mean, the son, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Young Brown.
Young Brown, yeah. He's obviously this super techie guy who can build all these things, and you're kind of just waiting for his moment in the third act. So like they are kind of plot devices in a way. That's what I feel about them.
In the way I talked about comedy and how I like the comedy in Paddington because you don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
The second, I know that's a continuation of him being this inventor, right? Completely unbelievable that he's in his room doing all this crap. But like the second, and then they're in the plane, and you're like, here we go.
Yeah.
And you can tell that the line at the end's going to be, and whatever his name is, the young boy. It speaks true that we don't know his name, right? That he's now at tech fairs selling his ideas. It's like, come on, that didn't work.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I did like the whole like Mrs. Brown having to say goodbye to her daughter going to uni, and that kind of sort of coming back at the end, and her saying, "Oh, this is kind of what it feels like."
Yeah,
and, that was a little bit. But yeah, I do agree with you. I do think that the kids, they could have been given a little bit more. I feel.
Yeah.
I was, in complete honesty, I was even though it was a bit sort of cliche, and I have seen this story before, I was a little more invested in the whole Antonio Banderas and his daughter, a bit more than the Brown family this time around, which is interesting. That. But
sorry, back to your question. Ranking
yes,
the three.
Yes. How would you pop that?
There's this really viral clip of this guy who's trying to rank all the High School Musicals, and it's like, I think it must be 1 because that's the opening.
Yeah.
Then I go to 2, and then go 3, and go back round. I mean, look, this was the worst.
Yeah.
But the worst is still pretty good. Still good. Still enjoyable.
It's still better than most the kids' films you see nowadays.
100%. I said to my mum, like, we'll watch it again at Christmas. Do you know what I mean? It was lovely. It
was
a lovely film, but it was the worst.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you can tell it's still made with a lot of heart, and these films are very, like, they're just so unique, and they do stand out just because of how wholesome they are, how warm they are. They're like, one of my friends has this quote. He says, like a warm hug on a cold day. That's what they are. Yeah, that's what they are.
For me, it's the attention to detail and the world building. It's the Brown's house. It's the set design. It's the art. There's so much CGI in the film, obviously.
Yeah.
But it just looks incredible. There's just for me it's the attention to detail.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm going 3 and 3, 1, 2.
3, 1,
right?
2. I would agree with that. I think so as well. But yeah, I think unless you have any other points, that's more or less a kind of breakdown of Paddington in Peru, guys. Do let us know what you thought of the film down below in the comments, or if you liked it, if you didn't love it so much, do let us know. We'd be happy to hear. But now, Hannah, we're gonna head on over to our little game segment. I've got 2 games for you. We're gonna test your knowledge per se on how well you know British actors.
Oh,
Paddington Paddington in general is, I would say, quintessentially British. So I've got 2 games that are gonna
let's give it a go. Here's the thing. Better with faces, bad with names. So let's try.
Let's go for it. So the first game we are gonna play is called 3 Films, 1 Actor. So I'm going to give you 3 films.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me, or you're going to try and tell me which British actor stars in these 3 films.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So first up, we have Inception, The Revenant, and Dunkirk.
Harry Styles. Inception, The Revenant. I think I've only seen 2 of these films.
This is such a film bro round.
This is a real film bro round. Dunkirk. Who's the main? I'm guessing it's the main one in Dunkirk. I don't know. Any clues?
Inception, The Revenant, Dunkirk. That's not a clue. I just repeated the
Have
thing.
they had any like kind of drama, celeb drama?
I wouldn't say celeb drama. I think this actor is quite reserved. He's quite a physical. I would say he's quite an intimidating actor. Inception, The Revenant, Dunkirk. Any ideas whatsoever?
I actually have no idea.
No?
Sorry.
So that is Mr. Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Was that quite an obvious one?
Well, I mean, depends. It depends if you've seen all those films or not. Clara didn't get it. If that makes you feel any better.
So it wasn't Harry Styles.
It wasn't Harry Styles, unless he made a cameo in Inception or The Revenant. Yeah. But yeah, that was Tom Hardy. So up next we have The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
The Grand Budapest Hotel. And The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Oh goodness! All right, I'm trying to think of who. I'm guessing who is the dad in Narnia?
The dad in.
Well, it's not that then. Colin Firth? No,
not quite Colin Firth. It's an actress.
Oh, it's an actress.
There's your clue.
Do you know what?
If you think Narnia and you think actresses in Narnia,
I'm thinking of the little girl, which I'm assuming it's not.
It's the big baddie of Narnia. I don't know. No?
I don't know.
The Lion, the Witch.
The Witch. I don't know who plays the witch though.
Tilda Swinton.
Oh, no.
So yeah, that was Tilda Swinton.
Go on.
So up next we have, okay. This one is 12 Years a Slave, 1917, and The Hobbit.
Oh, goodness. I have seen 1917. I've not seen The Hobbit.
Okay.
And I've not seen 12 Years a Slave.
Okay. So this, I'll give you a clue. This guy is... Okay. He has the first name as your husband.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah. There we go. Up next, we have The Menu.
Yeah.
The Favourite.
Yeah.
And Mad Max Fury Road.
The Menu's got Anya Taylor-Johnson in it.
Anya Taylor-Joy. Yeah.
Joy. I always get her mixed up with
Aaron
Taylor-Johnson.
Yeah.
The chef in The Menu? No.
Not quite.
Tell me the Menu?
The cast of The Menu?
No. What were the three films?
The Menu, The Favourite, and Mad Max Fury Road.
The Favourite. Oh, Olivia Coleman's not in.
Not quite.
Is it one of the guys?
It's one of the guys.
The Menu, The Favourite. Oh, the guy she does drugs with in the toilet.
Yeah.
Yep. The guy
she does drugs with
in the toilet in The Menu. He's also in The Favourite. He's really good looking. He's really, really good looking. Tell me.
Nicholas Hoult.
So fit from Skins.
That's right.
You should have gone with Skins.
There you go. I've excluded TV shows, but
okay,
sure.
Right.
Up next, we have Saltburn. The Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
And Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, is it the mum? The mum of Saltburn? Is she in Pride and Prejudice?
So you're thinking of Rosamund Pike. It's not Rosamund Pike.
Pride and Prejudice.
Okay, I'll swap that around. Let's take out Pride and Prejudice. Let's do Saltburn, The Great Gatsby, and Promising Young Woman. Have you seen that film?
Yeah. Oh, God. Carey Mulligan.
There you go. There we go. And finally, we have Enola Holmes, Ocean's 8.
Oh, for specific.
And Alice in Wonderland.
I've not seen Alice in Wonderland, you know. I'm so sorry.
Very prominent with Tim Burton.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I went to that exhibition the other day and it was all about... it looks great, although I've not seen it. I'm so sorry.
Okay, clue. She is... How do I give this? How do I say this without giving too much away? Okay. Have you seen Fight Club? She's in Fight Club.
Is she Brad Pitt?
No. She does things with Brad Pitt.
She does things with Brad Pitt. I feel like everyone listening will be like shouting answers. I am someone who need to see things. If you gave me pictures of their faces, I'll be able to.
You're gonna hate the next game then.
Oh no! All right, go. Who is it?
That is Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh, I love her. Harry Potter. Yeah.
If I said Harry Potter, it would have been too.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Well, there you go. How did you find that game?
I don't want to disappoint you.
No.
Stressful.
It's okay. Yeah, when you this is the thing. Like when you're on the couch.
Yeah. When you're on the couch.
When you're on the couch, that's what it is. I have like so many people who have sort of just cinema as their language. As soon as they sit on this couch and I ask them questions, blank.
Mine goes to mush.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, that was 3 films, 1 actor. We had a lot of fun with that.
I would say one out of.
Our second game we have is Hannah, can you guess the British actor from The Sound? So I'm gonna play a line of someone speaking, a British actor or actress speaking, and you've got to try and tell me which actor or actress it is.
Mm-hmm.
And bonus point if you can get the film as well.
Okay.
So guess the British actor from The Sound. So up first we have.
Because if there's one thing we've learned from Penny Dreadfuls, is that when you find yourself in a place like this, you must never be a candy ass. You've got to prove yourself from day one.
Wow, it's someone quite posh. Or playing someone quite posh.
Any ideas? Should we play again?
Yeah, go again.
Because if there's one thing we've learned from Penny Dreadfuls, is that when you find yourself in a place like this, you must never be a candy ass. You've got to prove yourself from day one.
Penny Dreadfuls. What is that?
That's not a clue, as in like don't let that distract you.
I was trying to like guess the film from that.
It's nothing to do with Penny Dreadful.
Tell me.
Any ideas at all on you, the voice at all? Sound familiar? What's
I mean, I want to each one. I'm like Colin Firth. I'm trying to think of British actors.
I'll give you Colin Firth isn't in this.
No, he's all I've got. Hugh Grant.
Well, it's not quite Hugh Grant. That is Ralph Fiennes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Grand Budapest Hotel. I'm going to play it again just so you.
Because if there's one thing we've learned from Penny Dreadfuls, is that when you find yourself in a place like this, you must never be a candy ass.
It is quite tricky.
Yeah.
It is quite tricky.
Would you have got that? Probably.
I think so, but it is quite tricky.
I've still not seen the Grand Budapest Hotel, so it's come up twice.
Okay.
So
okay. Well, you'll be pleased to know that there are no more Grand Budapest Hotel references to this. Okay. So up next, guess the British actor from The Sound.
Didn't your mother ever tell you not to play with your food?
What do you want?
Those are kind of 2 actors. So, go again.
yeah.
Did your mother ever tell you not to play with your food?
What do you want?
Didn't your mother ever not to tell you? What film are we in? What world are we in?
So any idea as to any of those voices at all? I would say try guess the voices before the film. I would say on that one. Should I go again?
Didn't your mother ever tell you not to play with your food?
What do you want?
So I'll give you one of the actors.
Mm-hmm.
So the second voice
Yeah.
is Jeremy Irons. Do you know who that is?
No, that means nothing to me.
Okay. Okay. So this is from The Lion King.
Okay, yeah.
So who do you think that first?
Didn't your mother ever tell you not to play with your food?
Any ideas?
No.
So that
Lost
is-
on me.
that's Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah.
He plays Zazu.
In
and
The
obviously,
Lion King.
Yeah, and Jeremy Irons plays Scar. So up next we have, this one I think is quite tricky, but let's see.
Quite.
Okay.
Well, let me see. Nice things. Daffodils, green meadows, skies full of stars, raindrops on roses, whiskers on kittens.
Got it?
All right, we're Sound of Music.
There we go.
Is it Julie Andrews?
There we go.
There you
Yes,
go.
there you go.
Of course. More my
On the score,
More my
bud.
genre. More my genre of
I should have
film.
done this entire episode of musicals, honestly.
If you'd have done it about like early 2000s coming of age films,
Yeah.
I would have crushed this.
I've got that noted for next time. Okay, so up next we have.
I am a tolerant woman, but the one thing I will not stand for is disloyalty.
Is it Harry Potter? The McGonagall?
Not McGonagall. She's talking to McGonagall.
Oh, it's Umbridge.
That's right.
Professor
That's
Umbridge.
Imelda Staunton.
Imelda Staunton.
Yeah, from Order of the Phoenix. There you go.
That's one of my favourite of the.
Of the entire series. Yeah. Up next we have.
Did I ever tell you to eat up, go to bed, wash your ears, do your homework? No, I respected your privacy, and I taught you self-reliance.
Is this a British actor
It is a British actor.
doing?
Well, British as in. To be honest, this is UK. let's say.
Okay.
But he's not. To be honest, he has an American twinge in this.
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
doing an accent.
Yeah. No. Should I play it one more time? Just for fun.
Did I ever tell you to eat up, go to bed, your ears, do your homework? No, I respected your privacy, and I taught you self-reliance.
Tell me.
That is Sean Connery.
Ah,
In
Bond.
not Bond.
Not
no,
Bond.
It's in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So he's having a go at Harrison Ford in that scene. So finally we have
Oh God.
I am tickled, the deepest shade of shrimp, to have been asked here tonight to open this wonderful old steam fair.
You should zoom in on my face as I'm hearing one of these. It's pure panic.
I am tickled, the deepest shade of shrimp, to have been asked here tonight to open this wonderful old steam fair.
I feel like you can get this if you really think.
I am tickled,
Hugh Grant.
the deepest
Is it?
You gone?
Is it?
Yep.
asked here tonight to open
From
this wonderful old steam fair.
It's on the tip of your tongue. Any idea?
I am tickled,
it's not.
the deepest
I don't want to say it.
Say
It'd be
it.
wrong.
to have been
Is,
asked here tonight to open this
is it the last?
wonderful old steam fair.
Paddington.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Your face was
The
such a
panic of being
There
wrong.
we go. There
Hugh
we
Grant,
go.
we did
there
it.
we go. Okay, guys. Well, that was. Can you guess the British actor from the sound? We got we got something in the end. Yeah.
So sorry.
No, not at all. It is quite. It is quite. a
People at
difficult
home
game.
can enjoy playing, and there'll be like long gaps for them to think of the answers. So it's perfect.
It is, to be honest, it is quite a tricky game. I do always test these games on these guys in the car and stuff beforehand, and you're
Tough.
yeah, it's tough. It is tough.
Tough,
It is
honestly.
But there you go, guys. That was our little game round. I hope you
so
somewhat had fun with that.
The stress.
No, not at
No,
all.
I enjoyed it.
No, but thank you so much, Hannah,
Thank
for
you.
for coming and talking Paddington in Peru and playing some British actor-esque games. We are actually about to shoot our next episode, which is all about mine and Hannah's top 10 favorite films to watch during autumn and winter. So do stay tuned, guys. We are going to be discussing and breaking down all those films for you. But yeah, thank you so much, Hannah, for coming on and chatting. It's been wonderful having you here for this first episode, and can't wait to get started on the next. Thank you guys for watching, listening, and we will catch you in the next episode of the Popcorn Podcast. Cheers.
Bye.